Good morning, and welcome to Georgia. No, the classiest place, but fucking Georgia, though. My dudes, if you did not hear, Trump has been indicted for a fourth time by Georgia for some pretty serious shit, and it has given me such a boner. Like, I'm inordinately aroused. Every time he gets in trouble, it's just like, oh, I have to go rub one out real quick, be back in a second. Oh my God, I just can't. Happy Taco Tuesday. I hope you're doing well today. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't even care if he goes to jail at this point. I just need him to not be able to run for an office. The moment his platform is gone, he is not our problem anymore. That's all I want. You're not allowed to run. That's it. That's all they need to do. Like, they don't even need to go for the jail shit. Just tell him he can't fucking run. 4 times, Nick, right? 4 times? In how many different states now? Not just Trump. That's true. That is very true. We can actually, I wanted to show you the news article I just watched, like a news, literally I was looking for music to play and all of a sudden all these news articles started popping up on YouTube regarding the allegations and shit like that. And one of them I watched said he's due in prison in an hour. And that was like an hour ago. So I don't know. Maybe you guys can explain this to me, but this is Chicago news. I don't know why the fuck this came up on my shit, but you can tell the president to suck my fucking dick. It's a good lyric. Okay, hold up. What hour then? Maybe I'm just hallucinating. So it is next Friday's the 25th, I'm assuming. Right? That was a really big hit. Sorry, I'm burning. I'm burning. That was such a big hit. I'm dying. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, public, go, like, Georgia. I don't have any words. I'm just so happy about Georgia right now. You guys are fucking winning. Oh, we will absolutely be watch partying that if it's happening. Like, here's the thing. They have to show up before the 25th. Because I leave for Burning Man on the 25th. So, fuck. So, yes. Hopefully they don't wait until the last fucking minute. I'm really bad at it. So today's the 15th. So in 9 days, approximately, Zach and I leave for Burning Man. And it's like a 13-hour drive to the middle of the desert, middle of nowhere. Yeah. So I'm really hoping they go to court before then so we can watch it. Because I would go live instantly if that happened. That wouldn't even, I would need to watch that with y'all. It's so weird. For those that are, like, kind of new to my channel, I guess, if you guys remember the insurrection on January 6th a few years back, that literally happened while I was live on my stream. And I've never, I wouldn't consider myself, like, an outwardly political person. Like, I don't sit there and just bring up politics with people randomly or, like, make it, like, a core of my personality or anything. But when that fucking thing, like, started happening, we were just I don't even remember what was happening on stream, but all of a sudden we just all started watching it, and it felt akin to when 9/11 happened. And everybody in the world was just glued onto their TVs, watching, wondering what the fuck is going to happen? What is happening? What is this? And we watched it on stream, and then I started getting nervous because I was like, fuck, if the news starts covering death, like, my channel will be shut down. So we had to go unlive because if you watched the January 6th insurrection, people did die. It was fucking horrible. But, like, ever since then, I feel like, my channel's a good 10% political at this point because it's just like, I can't help. I have to stay up to date on this shit. It was so, like, reality bending. When your hit's so big, your brain hits the reset button. That's my favorite. I just want to see his face when a judge tells him no multiple times. Same. Poop Deck, you know him. Like, we don't know him, but we've all unfortunately seen him speak a million times. and he interrupts people constantly. Like, he's constantly, like, interrupting people. He just talks in circles. And if you've ever watched court cases where people tend to do that, watching the judge tell them to shut the fuck up feels so good. It's just like warm central feelings. And I just can't wait for it. Well, that's the thing, Seahorse. That's why I think it hurt. It like was so visceral, and it still is. Like when when I went back to Baltimore, for the first time since I left 2 years ago. No, it was after the insurrection, but I went and walked around DC, and it felt very much similar. Hi, Knives. Good morning. It felt very, very much similar to the very much similar English. It felt really similar to when my car got broken into. Not the same thing, not comparing, but the same feeling. Like when I was in college, my car got broken into. Someone tried to take the deck out of it. And if you have a nice system, you guys know this, if you have a nice audio system in your car and you take the deck out, you see the fire wire and that leads you to know there's something in the back. So they stripped my car, just tore it apart. And I went up to my car on Valentine's Day to go to a date with my boyfriend, and my car is just like gutted. And I remember like getting in my car to drive it again, and it just felt violated. It felt gross, and like I was just like gross feeling in it for some reason. And that's what DC feels like now. It feels kind of gross. Like you just get there's like this air of just like ick. I don't know. It's very sad. First, moo. Second, you're going to Burning Man. That's pretty wicked. I'm very excited. The camp I'm going with is, I think, pretty badass. Like, they're all really nerdy. Like, actually, a few of them hang out in our channel and lurk pretty consistently. But yeah, they're all like nerdy, techie people that just want to go have fun and go camping in the desert. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Good morning, Mr. Fox. How are you? The song for today should be Georgia on My Mind. Yeah, oh yeah. Georgia everything. Them Georgia Pines. I'd fuck one right now. Yes, remember, Barilla? We were like watching, like, where's the Coast Guard? Where are the like, what's happening? We were watching like one security guard get mobbed. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was so horrible. Good morning, Najio. Good morning, Brittany. If I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. I was on a rant. He can't, though. He's going to get himself kicked out of the room because he literally can't help himself. Honestly, I hope he gets stuck. I know you're right, probably, but I really hope he gets stuck. Meat. Oh my God. Crispy, can you imagine if his face melts? Was that Giuliani whose face melted? I'd love to see streaks through that fake tan. Oh God, I would get so horny for that. Oh, say, can't you see by the dawn's missing light? Yeah. To Burning Man, my camp is there. It's kind of confusing, Sarah, because I've got like all the travel time included into it because it's like a 16-hour drive-ish. So, and I'm taking my Jeep. I'm just gonna sleep in my Jeep because it's basically a fucking camper anyways, so perfect. But it's like a 16-hour drive, and it starts midnight/12:01 Sunday the 27th. I think that's the 27th. That's when like people are officially allowed to actually come into the city and start setting up their camps and everything. And then the man, I think it's literally 7 days. The man burns. And then some people stay. Like some of my camp that I'm going with is actually staying 2 days afterwards and going 2 days before because they are part of the art. They make art, like, you know, the big art exhibits that are everywhere all over the desert and people set them on fire. Some of the people that actually run my camp actually are contributing to that. And our camp, it's called the Bat Cave, and it's literally a constructed gigantic cave, like a bat cave that everybody sleeps in. It's fucking wild. So they have to go early to set it up and then stay late to pick it up and everything. And I think I'm staying a day later than everybody else. So I think I'll be there 8 days because I volunteered to help people get back to Reno because I'll have room in my car. The people have to lay down, but there will be room. But it's about a week. Yeah, I'm very excited. Ooh, just need to get off my chest how awesome your color palette is. Thank you. Dude, I finally figured out how to make the green. Oh, that's cute. Make the green show. I didn't do enough green. So, like, literally front facing, you almost can't tell that the whole bottom layer is green. What the fuck is this? We're just leaving it. Tips on nursing on dealing with benzo addiction. Oh. Like, tips dealing with the addiction, like someone who wants to become unaddicted? Or like you have someone in your life who's addicted and you want to help that, like, what benzos are, man, dude. Those are like we barely even use those in the hospital anymore, man. Those are like they call me mellow yellow. 100% agree. I have the utmost respect for the office of the president. I have zero respect for Trump and his co-conspirators. Negative respect. What is negative respect? I'm good. Roasting in hell today, dude. Gross. It's so hot and stagnant. The air's super still. Oh no, that's the worst. Yep, it feels horrendous. I tried turning on a table fan. It was just blasting, scorching air. That's how we were all July. It was like the air was hotter than the ambient temperature somehow, and it felt like a blow dryer. I am so sorry. That literally what I would do, Mr. Fox, is I would get a piece of ice, wrap it in a paper towel, and do this on the back of my neck. That was the only, and it would just evaporate. Like, I wouldn't even get wet. Like, it wouldn't even drip down my back. It would just evaporate because it was so hot. But you have big vessels in the back of your neck that can help you cool down because your blood goes from your aorta to your head, like, first, and then, the rest. So that cold gets kind of dispersed throughout your body via the vessels. Science. It's not a perfect science, but it can help a little bit. His hair. It was his hair melting, right? I met Elaine's I met Elaine's new boyfriend last weekend, and he said that he's gone to Burning Man before and said that all the art everywhere is really cool. It is. I've seen pictures of it just because of the camp I'm going with Sarah, and it very much reminds me of Bumbershoot. You remember when we used to go with, like, Gina and all them, and they would set those giant, they were like paper mache sins that were as big as a house, and they put wishes in them and then set them on fire? Very much like that, but like metal. Everything is basically metal out there because the desert would just destroy anything else, I think. I experiment with my hair. It's very nice of you guys. Sometimes I wonder if I look like a fucking clown. Like, should I grow up? I don't know. So while I can't really stand Georgia's current governor, Brian Kemp, Google his 2016 election videos to see why. Dude, ugh. But his GFY to Trump's BS post is oh yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm not going to forgive people's past transgressions of being shitty people, but I'll give them credit for trying. If that makes sense, for, like, doing something. But I mean, it doesn't suddenly make you a hero or anything. Fuck that. So this is what he said. The 2020 election in Georgia was not stolen. For nearly 3 years now, anyone with evidence Anyone with evidence of fraud has failed to come forward under oath and prove on a book that mentions horse semen, and prove anything in court of law. Our elections in Georgia are secure, accessible, and fair, and will continue to be as long as I am governor. The future of our country is at stake in 2024, and that must be our focus. And then there is I'm guessing this is a Truth Social thing. I don't know. It's a post by, I hate reading this shit. Ugh. Trump. Hold on. I'm not high enough for this. I think I'd be miserable if I dyed my hair brown and tried to be, like, normal. I've strongly considered it because I'm aware I look like a fucking clown. But I don't know, man. It brings me joy and makes me feel like I look like a tropical flower. So I think I'm just going to roll with it. I don't know. Brown hair it's just gross. It's just there all the time. Okay. Trump. I can't do an impression of him, so I won't. But I'll do an impression of how I think he sounds inside.
A large, complex, detailed, but irrefutable report on the presidential election fraud was take place in Georgia is almost complete. It will be presented by me at a major news conference at 11 a.m. on Monday of next week in Bedminster, New Jersey. Based on the results of this conclusive report, all charges should be dropped against me and others. There will be a complete exoneration. They never went after those that rigged the election. They only went after those fucking
That word, I hate that word. Oh, God. That's way too close to another word. That's not even a word. You fucking idiot. Do you think I did it justice? I hear that on the inside. And he only stopped because someone shoved a tit in his mouth. Fucking idiot. Thank you, Kendo. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Literally. He doesn't know. I literally, when I read exoneration, I thought to myself, he doesn't fucking know what that means. Okay, he did. Is that on purpose? That is. Sometimes I feel like I'm an oversensitive chud, and I'm like, am I being oversensitive about that? Because, like, I could probably put money down on what some of those top comments on this truth are. And I bet they're pretty foul. Cool. Not just me. All right. Thanks for... I appreciate that because I do work... like, you know, there is such a thing as being overly sensitive about shit. And then there's, you know, racism. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Exactly, Seahorse. You don't just talk about the South and do that shit. Yeah. Needed more baby voice and sniveling. I can't get my high... I could... Oh, wait. I could...
Like this? Nope. Oh my god, that changed. This was really high pitched. Hold on.
We could like make it a baby like better.
Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Do I have ADHD? Am I just lazy? Am I burned out? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Sorry, I meant to put not percent.
Bitch. Oh, bitch. How about that? Does the again, template. It's too much, right? It's almost too cute. Someone give me ketchup.
I'm sorry. Soundboards are too much fun. You must be responsible with one. Oh, God.
When I think about you, I touch myself. Ooh.
Dude, Knives. Did you see the GIF that popped down? Do you remember when I fucking made that? I can't believe it's behind my little hearts, though. I gotta fix that. Shit. You fucking bitch fart. I found that GIF this morning and I was like, oh, dude, I gotta put that back in the alerts. It's too good. I forget about stuff all the time. Oh, I've been around too long at this point. That's like a 6-year-old GIF or something like that, right? I don't even know, dude. It's fucking... Oh, hold on. Hold on. I bet I can replay it. It's worth it. It's such a good GIF. Hold on. Don't be a dick. Not you guys. You be a dick. Good morning, David. Prime Atheist. Thank you so much for subbing to the class. Keeping the class. I'm giving it as soon as that Prime sub. I just changed. I flopped up some of my alerts. There's still the original ones in there. I just add some all the time. And so I got excited. Thank you for that resub. Don't forget to use your Prime subs, motherfuckers. Trouble, honestly, like, I'd love for him to go to prison. That is my ultimate dream. At this point, I just don't know, because I don't know. I just want him to not be able to run for anything. If they just cock-blocked him and didn't let him run for literally anything ever again, like, I think he would fade in obscurity, because the only reason anyone pays attention to him is he still has a platform. I really want to see him in a federal prison uniform as he gets put in Leavenworth for the rest of his damned life. I know that won't happen in that way, but I can dream about it. I dream about it all the time, Dread. Me too. Like, I'm pretty positive it wouldn't happen, but I'm going to send positive energy there. Queen, have a good lurk. Who'd be willing to send him to prison? New York would be more likely. You don't think Georgia would? Georgia's been so feisty, man. I could totes see Georgia going for the throat, for lack of a better word, you know? All I can think of...
Is that my voice? Yeah.
I too love that movie. It's a good one. Hold on. I'm trying to get this alert because it's so good. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Please play the same GIF.
That bitch, and when I mean
It
bitch,
did not play the
I
same
mean
GIF.
the most wonderful person in the world, ClassyKatie.
I don't want to play through them because it's going to spoil it. Um... Spoilers! Oh, no shit. The GADA said definitely jail time. That's what they're going for, or they're pretty sure that would be the consequences if proven whatever. Hold on, I'm pulling it over, David. Another one. Oh, God. Is it as bad as giving it a wash and slipping it in? Oh. The thrusting one, that's what I'm saying. Like, I added so many other GIFs that I don't want to go through. Like, if I keep replaying that alert, I'm afraid it's just going to play all the new GIFs I put in there and all the new sounds and spoil it before we get to the one that actually played. So, but that one's great. There's some really, I mean, they're old. It's just really weird to watch them. Like, most of them, I have brown hair. That's the weirdest part because that's like from when I lived in Washington 6 years ago. It's very weird. It's very strange. Time is strange. Time and space and time and space. Oh, it was Office Space. Thank you. I fucking love Office Space. Federal Pound Me in the Ass Prison. Yeah, that was... Is that the nerdy guy that listens to gangster rap in his car that says that? I think so, yeah. 8 years ago.
What the fucking fuck? Who the fuck? Fuck this fucking. How did you do fucking fucks? Fuck!
Well, it certainly illustrates the diversity of the word.
Rocco's my hero. I'm so happy my sister was here for that because that's like our favorite movie ever. Come on, funny man, make me laugh. I'd go through the rest of it, but it's a terrible joke. Certainly proves the diversity of the word. Such a good one. I left Washington 8 years ago, which means I've been streaming longer than 8 years, and that's fucking weird. I'll point it out, and I mean, I have the GIF. I'll just find it and send it to you. It's not like it's like just on the internet. It's the GIF of when I did, I think... I can't remember what I called the look, but I was Jason's biggest fan. And I did the carving of Jason's name into my chest that, like, you know, was bleeding and looked very much like carving him out chest, but it's me peeling it off. I found the GIF. It's me, like, going, "Ugh," with the whole, because the whole thing, like, liquid latex is horrific. Peeling it off is just, like, waxing yourself. And it's me sitting there being like, "Ugh," like, peeling it off. It's pretty great. It's pretty fantastic. Finna be in the pit. Is that what does that mean? Gen Zers baffle me. I killed your cat, bitch! Tell me its name. If you can remember its name, I'll put a bullet in my head right now, bitch! And Raimi, I can't get a pack of smokes without running into a dude. 5 dudes that you've sucked. I can't remember that part. Sucked off. What is it? Without running into 10 dudes you fucked. Oh my god, I gotta watch the movie now. What color was it, bitch? I love Rocco. We could kill everyone. They need you guys in every major city. I think it was a black and white cat, wasn't it? Like black and white and long haired. Rudy indicated in a RICO case is ironic and I love it. I love, and like, my sister's a lawyer. She could probably give us some insight on this. But I wonder how lawyers feel watching all of these lawyers getting indicted with Trump. Like, you know what I mean? It all just, like, arguably, lawyers know the law in and out, right? Or at least their area of study in and out. And to just be so blatantly dumb about breaking said law when they, like, again, inarguably kind of know the repercussions better than most of us. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Hi, Kinger. How are you, love? Afternoon. White and gold or blue and black? Nobody knows. Well, Kendo, so I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I've heard that if you are a person of note, whatever, if you're a person of note or you're famous or you're super rich or whatever, that you get special prison because they know people will target you and try to pick on you, and it's like keeping you safe. Can we get freaky tonight? Make attorneys get attorneys, dude. It's fucking weird, right? It's very odd. It just seems very like how I mean, we know there are terrible lawyers, I guess, so I can't assume they know better, but like Jesus Christ. I'm not a lawyer and I know better. I know. I love Legal Eagle. I know. I think he does a really good job of presenting information without being too much of a goofball sometimes. He adds little clips and little like gifs here and there, but you can see him sitting there like holding it like these lawyers though, cuz it's like I was under the understanding that it's pretty difficult to pass the bar. Right? And these people like did it. Which is how? I guess rote memorization. Thanks, Lord. My hair's at the point where it's too heavy to do one bun. Gives me a headache. Surprised at the number of people willing to be a lawyer for Trump at this point. How is anyone actually willing to represent him anymore? That's me too. It's got to be lawyers that are the worst of the worst of the worst that literally can't get a job anywhere, or they don't care how they get fame and notoriety and they know working for Trump will get that. Right? That's all. I've thought about that too. It's so bizarre. I'm actually surprised at the number of people willing to be a lawyer for Trump at this point. How is anyone actually willing to represent? Yeah, I had to read that again because I agree. You took the words out of my mouth. True, Federal Country Club. Is that kind of what it is, Kendo? That's what I've heard that too. And I know it's the same for like, there's certain cases where you get like special treatments because they know you're a target. They like try to keep you from getting killed in prison or some shit like that. That just indicates we need to overhaul our prison. Well, I mean, Little Black Dress, that, etc. Et al. Whatever you want to like. Yeah. One of fucking millions of reasons our prison system needs to be like burnt to the ground and started over. Moo Beach. If they can get Trump off, they'd be famous. Seems impossible, but I can see why they try. And I mean, they're famous even just working for him. Like I know the name. I recognize the names of lawyers of his that get in trouble and don't do well. Like, and I don't know if that's worth it to some people, like how some people are cool with infamy, I guess. They just need to be, it's like maybe a level of neuroses or something where they need to be seen and known no matter how. Did you know that your tongue rests on the roof of your mouth and not the bottom? Why have you done this? Oh my God, why have you done this? That's hurting my brain. They get paid even if they lose. I mean, they're getting paid just to represent him. I'm assuming. I don't know. Rote memorization sounds about right. Alternatively, you can be smart enough to pass the bar and still be a dipshit of a person. That's got to be it. I know nothing about the bar. Other than, I mean, what my sister told me, which is like pain, dismemberment, sadness, stress. Funny thing, watching local Atlanta news, there are no MAGAs protesting. So anybody who lives in Georgia, Atlanta, the general area, do you feel like there's a major MAGA presence at all? Just curious, just out of curiosity. So I want to share, I just got a letter from my current employer who says I have 30 days to find a job in the company I qualified for and apply for it or be separated due to my medical conditions. They didn't even have the decency to remove the previous person's name, address, and email before they sent it to me. I'm sorry, what? You could sue the living fuck out of them. They just doxed a stranger via email. Just saying. That's, I don't know the exact words for it, but that's not good. Oh, Raz, I was just asking, do you feel like a MAGA presence or like a major Trump supporter presence in Georgia? Your bones are wet, I know. The tongue thing is fucking me up because now I'm thinking about you can't move your top teeth. Think about that. When you watch someone talk, like we move our face and we're constantly expressing and moving our lips around, but your top teeth don't move. The only teeth in your face that move are in your bottom jaw. And that fucks me up still. Thinking about these things. I know, but you still knew the fuck about you knew more about it than anyone else I know. To be fair, my ideal level of fame with my music is that a couple of our songs become infamous because of the delivery of the lyrical content and what I want to induce in the certain people. But like, what do you mean by infamous? Like you want them to just wait. What do you mean by infamous? Help. What do you mean? Scott, yeah, I was gonna say HIPAA, but that's like hospital shit. I don't know what it's called outside of medical information, but sending via email the address, phone number, and full name of a stranger to you without their permission, context, and on accident is big fucking no. Like, you could sue, they could sue that person. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. No show. Hell yeah, many maggots here, but they're becoming fewer. Interesting. Can't you technically not be fired due to medical conditions, like directly, I mean? You can apply for like, in America, it really depends on the state you live in and your employer. In my experience, you can apply for, what is it called? Oh, fuck, I just forgot the name of it. It's like long-term, it's kind of long-term medical leave, but it basically means for the X amount of time, you are able to call in sick when you need to and then work when you need to, but your job is protected no matter what. And you can apply for that for a certain amount of time over and over and over. I don't know I don't know if legally it cuts or anything like that. America is so fucked up. Rodney! How are you, love? They're fucking up with HIPAA, ADA, and probably state employment laws. Yeah. Yes and no. The ones that we have, the ones that are around have Trump flags on everything, but the general person doesn't really seem it. See, that's kind of, all I've seen is like a Trump, I've seen a Trump bumper sticker once in a while, but even in Colorado, I have never seen anyone with a Trump sign in their yard or anything like that. It does. HIPAA applies to anyone who has confidential medical data. There you go. Oh, that's true, because now what they've done is they've also informed you that that person has a medical issue. So not only have they completely given you all of their home information, all of their personal information, full name, etc., but now by sending this exact same copy of mail, now they've informed you of this person's medical condition, which was totally private. It's HIPAA. You should, I don't know about suing. I know America's like sue happy, but I'm pretty sure your job's going to be absolutely fine if you find the right person to point all that out to. If you know what I'm saying. I know you're smart. Do you know what I'm saying, Erican? That's real fucking fucked up. Like, let alone the fact that they're trying to fire you for being ill. they've now just completely informed you of a strange person's entire medical history, essentially. That they also have an impending medical thing that's now they're trying, like, yeah, that's it. None of it's okay. That's a big no. I would, yeah. I don't know the words for it, but I think you get what I'm saying. Oh my God. What is this? Wait, what is that? What is this from? That's great, but like, what the fuck is that? I don't know what show. Is that like the Dark Beauty and the Beast? I just put that together, Scott. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, that's super fucked up. Cheers, Sini Lewis, by the way. Sorry. Happy, somewhere. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Correct. It is FMLA. Thank you. FMLA is something you can apply for, but I don't know how long. I've known people that use it, like, in my experience, forever for, like, a twisted ankle. So I don't know how someone can cut that off, honestly. I don't know. It's the car accident thing, so they're going to give me a settlement if I can't find a job, which I won't be able to. You're going to get a lot more if you point out what they've done. Also, okay, I'm going to put this to you guys. You guys are a bunch of smart adults. If you were that person whose information was sent to a stranger, would you want to know that happened? Because I would. Not that I would, like, want to know because I'm going to sue them or fucking what. That's such an invasion of privacy. Maybe, like, you have that person's full fucking contact information. Hit him up and be like, hey, so I just want to let you know the company literally doxed you to me and HIPAA'd you to me, and I feel like it's your right to know that. Because the company won't tell that person if they don't have to, because then that's two people they're in trouble with. You know what I mean? The tick. Oh my God, I forgot the tick. God, that's a callback. 100%, right? Okay. Don't send my stuff to someone. Absolutely not. Like, fuck, you don't know what people are going through. Like, that's just such a breach of confidentiality. AKA Erican's info was given to the other. I wonder if it was flip-flopped like that, yeah. Or, like, exactly, Erican, what if they don't remove your information and they're sending that out to other people they're trying to fire for having an accident or something? Like, how many people have your address and phone number right now? It's really, like, how far does it go? It's such a trite saying, but hold on, let me think of it. It's like, this isn't the first time they've fucked up. It's probably the first time they've been caught. Does that make sense? It's very cliche, but it's usually true. That's fucked shit. Knives, 100%. This situation is Erican's job is threatening to fire him if he doesn't reapply for another job in the company because he got in a car accident and literally is injured. And they sent him an email with this whole blurb, and all they did was, like, copy and paste his information into this email. It's obviously like a stock email, but they didn't remove the last person they emailed it to's information. So Erican's has that person's full name, home address, phone number. Not only that, but now we're all fully aware that that person also has a medical condition that's impeding their work. Yeah. 100% fuck those guys. Uh-huh. I don't mean to, I feel like I'm not being dramatic. Your personal home information is, like, that's all you've got. That's some fucked up. How many other people have they sent his information to? Their information, I should say. You know what I'm saying? It's altogether just a huge sign of a very misfunctioning office that needs to be fucking smacked. Because that's fucked up. I personally would, because my next call is to a lawyer. Yeah. It's such a breach of every. Ugh. I'm not usually a confrontational person like that. Normally, like, little accidents and stuff here and there. Like, I get emails from sponsorship people all the time where they'll put in like, hey, insert streamer name here, da 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 da, and it's like, whatever. But they're not, that's so different. In Scotland, it would be classed as a derelict of duty and safety, 100%. I think there's something like that in the US as well. People wonder why the new generations have such a hard time with trust. Jesus, man, I'm sorry you're dealing with shit. Right? I think about that when people go after the black community for having a distrust and kind of a skepticism about medicine. Just listen to a black woman speak about how she's treated in a hospital. I've witnessed it. It is fucked up. You're treated like a pet. People don't look. People don't look around. I'm firmly convinced that human beings do not open their eyes and just fucking observe. Because it's everywhere. You don't have to look for it. It's fucking everywhere. But they'll go after him all day. Like, oh man, why didn't you come in earlier? Blah, blah, blah. Because last time you told me I was an idiot, I went home and had a heart attack. Why the fuck would I ever trust you again? Ever. You know? Really fucking sucks to know, too, I know how it feels for extra shit falling on your lap and have to deal with it. It's just a lot of garbage. Exactly. Like, Erican's already fucking injured and can't work, and now it's like, oh, they might just be sending my home address to the whole company and copying because someone in an office can't function as a human. The company I work for can be fined millions of dollars for accidentally sending out people's personal information. That's in my experience, exact same. As a nurse, a HIPAA violation that is like the worst case scenario HIPAA violation. That right there. Written, emailed personal information being to someone else. That is like the worst case scenario. Nurses have their licenses pulled, their nationally accredited licenses pulled for opening the wrong chart. Like if I'm in one, if I open a chart of a patient who's not my patient, and that's 1 second. That's me being like, oh shit, exiting out immediately.
Dude, for real though.
Done.
Kill some Satan, motherfuckers.
Thank you so much for some of the class, keeping the class alive. Wait, that was, yeah. Some of the class, keeping the class alive and giving any swings for 2 fucking months in a row. I appreciate you. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways. Yeah, that's my experience with HIPAA. Like I've told you before, Eric, in every hospital I've ever worked in, including Johns Hopkins, like one of the most major rich hospitals in the country, we use fax machines to transfer documents between hospitals for information to doctors because it's the most secure and safe way to not violate HIPAA because no one even knows people still use fax machines, so no one's out there hacking them or trying to interrupt them or whatever. They literally, big ol' fucking, like, damn, it feels good to be a gangster, smash it with a thing. Fax machines still exist in every hospital I've ever been in. They're older than me, but they're the most secure way. Mailing shit is not secure. Obviously, anybody can grab the mail. Even though it's a federal crime, anybody can do it. Email's not secure. None of that. But just me accidentally glancing at the wrong chart would have my license pulled if they proved it. So I don't even know what they would do to a nurse if I sent an email to a patient and accidentally sent all of the personal information of a different patient to them as well. Holy shit. I would probably be going to court for something. I don't know what. I've never heard of that happening, but Jesus Christ. And the ones who are aware of their surroundings are broken down and silenced by said system, whether it's medical police or whatever else. Exactly. They're hiding from most of it because it's like you speak up and you're fucked. And yeah. Not saying it doesn't happen over here, but there is a lot of any discrimination or abuse from patient or doctor to doctor or nurse will have legal action taken against them and be prosecuted. We have that as well. The problem, what I've been told by my fellow employees who were of the Black community, is that all of the people that are managing those are also white people. So, like, if everyone that's watching the nurse, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a patient will make a complaint, like a doctor treated me like I was an idiot, but the board in charge of that doctor is just a bunch of old white people who have known that doctor for 45 years, and they probably all are parents to each other's children because that's hospitals these days. Like, you get an administration, you retire in it forever. So where's your hope? Like, at a certain point, you just stop complaining and you stop going. You treat the ER like a clinic because, fuck. And I get it. I see it and I get it. It's disgusting. I don't have an answer for it though. It's just like, it needs to be fucking burnt to the ground and rewritten. It's just golfing buddies. Literally though. My mom was hospital administration forever. I saw it. They are all like fucking each other and doing coke at parties and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, and those are the docs that are getting in trouble. It's usually, and I hate to say it, but it's usually older docs who just were brought up in a very antiquated medical education system where they literally taught you like, black people have a higher tolerance to pain or some whatever bullshit antiquated nonsense they tried to teach. They literally taught it when they went to school. And these people are like, well, it's what I learned in school, so racism. And it's fucking bullshit. It's a broken system. And it's fed into itself. It's disgusting. Hi, David. How are you? It's like Angelina Jolie, who was saying the color bias in the medical field has a nurse telling her to look for signs of infection only present in white people for her black daughter. A nurse said that. It hurts my nipples. It hurts me that there's people who went through medical school like I did and spew bullshit. What? Yeah, it's the same in the judicial system, exactly, yeah. Coming from someone who has fought for 20-ish years with disability, they don't give a fuck about us unless we speak up, but once we do, it's like our premiums go up or they ignore us. Same shit they do with the VA, yes. I've watched that shit too. It's so horrible. I've watched it with my patients as well as just family members with the VA and shit like that. I was saying, someone in chat was getting a new motorized cart. And I remember when my grandpa was getting one after he had his AAA, and they like had us drive him to like a rehab clinic where he would try out different carts because he had, on top of the AAA, he had a stroke. And so one side of his body wasn't working. So he needed a cart, definitely. And he tried out all these different carts. We finally found one, and he needed one that had like kind of bigger, more outdoorsy tires because his house was a good like 50 meters from his shop. And that's the only reason my grandpa wanted to stay the fuck alive, was getting to his shop still. Like that's how he escaped my Nana screaming, and that's how he escaped the house. And if he couldn't get to it, like there was nothing like that. He literally died because he had nothing anymore, because insurance was like, yeah, we approved that cart, and then sent him literally the cheapest, saddest cart ever that literally had to be like cranked to charge the battery on it. And just like watching the light die in my grandfather's eyes, and he literally went 2 months later. It was just because he lost his sense of freedom. It's just fucking disgusting what the system does to the elderly, to the disadvantaged, to the disabled, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to vets. It's like the moment you don't actively add to society in their eyes, i.e. the economy, you don't matter. They're just waiting for you to die. That's what it feels like in there. And it's fucking gross. Thank you again for subbing my channel and allowing me to not do that. Or, helping me, watching me, whatever the fuck. Supporting my channel. Because fuck this out of broken system. My dog's being needy. What up, Bubba? What are you doing? Hi, my boy. Hello. Oh, do you drink water? You are moist. That's my pood. He loves. Tired from work? Dude. Nothing more to do. Oh my god, are you gonna play Baldur? What are you playing right now? Are you playing Baldur's Gate at all? Or are you still Diabloing? DAs all know the judges and prosecutors and often will decide the outcome of trials before they even begin. That's disgusting. Sit down, bud. I actually learned this in school, and learning it in school means my knowledge is absolute. And even if it's proven wrong, I will not update my knowledge. What do you mean you never master anything? What? You always have to learn? That's a lie. Boomers and anything. And it's so wild how arrogant they are for and they, I mean, grander scheme of things. There's boomers. I don't think of the age group as boomer. I think of it as a mindset. Just so that's clear. When I say boomer, I'm not thinking like, oh, people in this. I'm thinking just, it's a mindset. There are some people who have that like, I suffered, so you have to suffer mentality. That's a boomer mentality to me. I don't know what the fuck. It's a mentality. It's just like, for some reason, it's a like a mind block in just furthering your brain. Just learning, which is weird especially if you're in a medical field like science, because the number one thing you learn about science is it's changing constantly. We're always learning. We're always studying. It's always changing. So to just halt your education on this one timeline is just like so detrimental to your own space. Hi, Quiet Wisp. How are you, love? I've talked about it here before, but I've never mattered in economy's eyes. Just it's been a while since I popped in. No, it's totally. Pop in when you want. That's important to me, not because you feel you need to. But it's disgusting. I feel you. Yeah. It's just, you feel kind of like a burden. You know what's funny, Eugenia? He's actually not. Lilith is the clingy one, but he does bounce between us, I think, just to say hi. But he's normally, like, if I'm just not streaming, he pretty much fucks off. He'll lay under me if I'm standing somewhere. But Lilith is the one that if I sit on a couch or something, she's got to be in my lap, licking my face, like, in my shit. She literally tries to crawl on my lap. But I think Trick just is, like, checking in. He checks the perimeter. He's leader of the pack. Yeah, he just, like, comes by and he's like, you good? Okay, I'm gonna go check out the other room now. I'm gonna make sure there's no bad guys. If there's a bad guy, I'm gonna bark. Bark, bark, bark. And then he goes. He just has to check in. I don't know. It's bizarre. 80, 90-ish hours. Ooh, do you like it? Hoping to finish my first run. Oh, no shit. Oh, I mean, David, of course. Like, I think I've made a total of like 5 different characters. I made my one. I've stuck with the same druid on the stream playthrough with Psycho, but offline, I've changed a couple different times. Just a few. Because it's so different. Your build truly matters. Off to work. I love you, Viata. Cheers, love. Be safe, drive safe. Don't let anyone spit on you. No shit, we have the... Whew, almost kicked something off the shelf. We have the exact same problems in Sweden. If you're old or quote-unquote not contributing to society, the economy, you're treated like less than a human. Pension and social connections for the elderly is so bad in Sweden that we have the highest elderly suicide rates in Northern Europe. Holy shit, I did not know that. Like, you just straight up don't take care of old people? And leave them to die? What the fuck? It's like, contributing to society your whole life didn't matter. The fuck? Right? 100 hours in BJ3, but split between a solo and MP game, so not close to the end. I don't think I'm anywhere near the end, and I don't want to be. Like, I've barely touched the map. It's huge. It's so big. I kind of like taking my time and just like finding all the little interactions all over the place. Like, in my personal game off stream, I ran into like a little lute playing tiefling who just sang terribly to me, and that was super fun. Like, those things are some of the best in the whole game. IMO. I don't think I'm out. I don't even know what act I'm in. How do you know what act you're in? Is it how many times you've seen Redacted? I don't want to spoil it. Right, Boyfriend, the first of many maps, and I've barely scraped this one. Like, I'm so obsessed with finding all the secret stuff. Like, if I see all my characters fail a, in whatever environmental check or something, I run 10 feet and run back and see if they pass it again. Getting a foreigner as your doctor as an immigrant is a blessing of a feeling because you know that they know they will try to help you and not just try to brush you off because you're an expense. I added that part, but... Light mode? No, sheepy. Absolutely not. Fix it. My browser did that yesterday. I wonder, do you use Firefox? Mine did that yesterday, very randomly, very late at night. Of course, when I was just sitting in the dark, like peacefully sipping some tea, all of a sudden it went light mode, and I was like, what did I do, Jesus? Oh, you haven't logged into your browser, or do you not? I don't know. You probably just haven't set that shit up. So it's not against your will, then. You haven't given your will. You haven't willed. You must first will before the will may be gone against. Yes? Dump them into some Swedish mindset about the elderly, dump them into some random retirement home and never contact them. You know, a lot of people do that in America too, though. I don't know if that's a worldwide thing, but nursing homes in America are sad. It's very, very sad. I see a lot of very capable people not willing to take care of, they just don't want to take care of their parents. But like, they just let them rot. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be another solution than letting your parents rot. I thought I'd been thorough, but still seeing streams of others finding stuff I didn't. No shit. The elderly here are kind of treated like children, and people will dump them somewhere else and forget about them. Yep. That's everywhere I've lived, sadly. It's really, like, it's grotesque how lucrative the nursing home industry is. My brother's wife's family owns a string of nursing homes, and they are rolling. It's really fucking sick. In a not cool way. It's like sick. Not like sick. You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck yeah. Sheepy. Does it feel shiny? Bright and shiny. How do you feel about the new place? Do you like it? Do you feel the feng shui of it? Before COVID, I used to frequently visit retirement homes for people with dementia and Alzheimer's to give free haircuts and styling. Fuck yeah. It was fun at first, but after a few visits, I would just feel so sad because I got to know some of these people and how little their family cared about them. Their family members get a little forgetful, and then they'll be like, oh, they don't remember us, and they'll just put them in a nursing home, and it's like, they're totally conscious, and they're very aware they've been left there to eat mush. Clean PCOS installs are good to do occasionally, but a pain. They are a pain in the dick. I always feel like your computer has, like, growing pains or something. Every time I've done that, there's like 10 times in my life, but, it feels like your computer's, like, has to warm up to it or, like, wear it in or something. It's weird. The only way elderly get out of that is if they are physically active to take care of themselves, yeah. Which is sad. My Nana never went to a nursing home. She was so obsessed with staying independent as possible. And my aunts and I were pretty fucking obsessed with keeping her out of a nursing home, to be honest. We tried to get her a personal nurse several times. She was so mean to them, they would quit. You're a good person for doing that, Fox, though. I mean, those few moments you spent with them probably made a huge difference in their life. What little they had left, like, goddamn. I love talking to, like, people that were my grandparents' age, visiting them when they had, like, a card party or something like that. They have the best fucking stories. I don't know why people, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's, like, I don't know. They literally are some of the most interesting fucking human beings. That's one thing. One of the few things I miss about working in the hospital is, it might be break time. My dog's just rushed the door. One of the few things I miss is just sitting and getting to chat with some of my elderly patients because they were fucking interesting. Like people that had been, World War I and shit in their 90s and almost 100. I had a 100-year-old, I think. I had a centurion once or twice. Fucking, like, all I want to be like is like, you're 100 though. And they were like totally there. They were there because they had like an ingrown toenail or something. Fucking insane. They 100%, oh God, did not forget that is the thing. Most of these elderly people still remembered their family 100%. Yeah, I saw the same thing. I'm so sad you saw that. It's nice to be out of the city. Fuck yes. I sat outside and all I could hear was wind and birds. Doesn't that kind of do something weird to your soul, Sheepy? Like I definitely need my amenities. I love the internet. Obviously, I love video game. I love technology. But I go to the mountains every once in a while. Like, I just went with Rod 2 days ago, and there's something about just, like, hearing nothing but birds and wind. And your soul just kind of, like, blows itself out. Some cobwebs or something. I don't know what that is. Hi, guys. Do we need to go potty? Do we need to go potty? You're both getting needy now. Hello, my Bill. Dude, seahorse, fuck yeah. I think older people are scared of me. The only grandparent I had in a care facility I did not visit. Who is it? Who are you? Morning. Have a good stream. What are you playing? Fear and Hunger. In Las Vegas? That was a terrible joke. Please ignore me. What is that? Good morning, LZT. How are you, love? My hairdressing school would do elderly service day once a year, and that's how I got into free service for the elderly. Our first school service was visiting the same retirement house, and I would later on visit on my own. Oh. That's sad. Planet of the Bass song. Yes. We watched it. We watched the prime release or whatever the fuck you call it. I let the countdown happen and we watched it when it first released because I'm obsessed now. Oh, it's survival horror. Oh no shit. I was thinking like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, not Fear and Hunger. Jesus Christ. Imagine if Dark Souls met H.P. Lovecraft, met RPG Maker. Be a lot of tentacles. There's so many tentacles in BG3, speaking of. Ugh. Oh yeah. I've played almost every survival horror game, I think, in the major franchises. Like Outlast was I played Outlast multiple times. But Whistleblower was better. Oh my god. Those games are so good. And so scary. Like viscerally fucking frightening. Yeah. Oh, I fucking had a good time in those games. Yep. It's just they come out. I feel like I dove in with the best ones. And so now I'm super picky. Like, nothing's ever beat Outlast, unfortunately, for me. Outlast was just, like, so scary and the dicks everywhere. Outlast was so fucking good, man. I don't know. I don't know if you'll ever... they were just fucking scary. They had a streamer mod that removed all the dicks from Fear and Hunger. What? Did people just not want to see dicks? Because if it's built into the game, we don't get in trouble for dicks. Psycho has his dick out all day in our game. They're like 17-ish% tentacles that we can see on the outside, right? The Outlast Trials, was that the newisher one that came out? I don't think I picked it up. I don't think I heard great things about it or something. I don't remember. Watch Super Eye Patchwolf streams, and boy, am I glad I also removed a few other things. Wait, what did you remove? From the dicks? Fear and Hunger is better than Outlast. Oh? Is it similar, like a linear story like that, where you actually are first person? My biggest problem with most survival horrors, like Silent Hill, is that top-down, third-person view. It doesn't make it very scary. It just makes it frustrating for me. For me to be scared, I almost absolutely have to be in first person in a game. Like, to actually get scared. I don't know. Third-person top-downs. Like, Silent Hill's great. I've played all of them. They're fucking legendary, but... Resident Evil, they're fantastic, but until they got in first person, I didn't really actually feel scared in them. Let me dye her hair from gray to intense copper. Oh, she fucking loved it. She asked me if I could dye her hair because she saw mine. It was bleached white, and she said she'd never been brave enough. She'd never dyed her hair. Sweet old lady who said she's happy that my generation isn't as constrained anymore, and she said if someone judges me for my weird hair color, she said she'll leave the retirement house to beat that person with a shoe. The amount of adorable little old people that have stroked my tattoo and been like, don't let anyone make you feel ugly for decorating yourself with beautiful things. Or they grab my arm and they're just like, oh, the art is so little, like 80-year-old ladies and shit. And I'm just like, confirmation. You don't regret that kind of shit when you're 80. You regret like not working. You were literally the number one, the two top things I ever heard people regret: not spending enough time with friends and family and working too much. End of list. Well, I mean, Knives, to be fair, I'm kind of all up in their shit, too. It's not like I'm like, I'm literally like, for instance, one of my patients, elderly titties, was so pendulous that in order to do a good EKG, I had to swing it over my shoulder. Like her tit was over my shoulder so I could put the pads. Because, like, if you have tiny boobies, like, we put the pads right here, But like if you have a big old titty, we gotta like lift your titty and put them under there because the electrodes don't go through dense breast tissue as well. So like, if I've got your tit swung over my shoulder and I'm like doing shit, like you get to touch my arm. You know, on the street, maybe not. Although that's happened too. I think I told you that one. I was kind of flattered. It was kind of a weird one. When I was in Thailand, some random girl, she was I think my age, her and her significant other were in the same like Buddhist temple garden we were walking around, and she came over and kind of like poked my arm and asked me if it was a Jenna Kerr tattoo. And I was like, yeah. She goes, "Can I take pictures with it?" And I was like, if. But at least she kind of asked instead of just like, I've had people take TikToks when I'm not facing them of me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? At least they said something. That makes it better. That makes it so less uncomfortable to me. When they at least say something as opposed to just, me turning around and someone doing a TikTok dance directly behind me and referring to me as Gumby. I'm like, you just ask. It's cool. Yeah, exactly, Knives. Like, if I'm shoving tubes down your throat, if I'm taking your blood at that point, because I'm usually like, when if I'm taking someone's blood, I tend to cradle their arm like completely so they're lax, and not tense. You're not holding your arm yourself. I hold it, and then I use my fingers to line up with the artery. I feel the pulse in the artery, feel it to line up like that, and then I go in with the needle like that, and your pulse actually fills my syringe for me, and I just take 1 cc because it's arterial. But like, I'm like sometimes laying on top of someone doing this like in the dark. It's such a fine because it's surgery technically because it's your artery. We got up in people's shit all the time. At that point, I feel like you can comment as long as you're not being a dick, and no one ever was. I never had anyone say anything like, "What are you gonna do when you want to get married?" That's when my mom used to. "What are you gonna do in a wedding dress?" With those. No one ever. It was always just like, "Oh, that's beautiful, Jules." Like they were just the nicest people. No one was ever judgmental. Boom. If you got anything slung over your shoulder, we're past pleasantries. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, we're here now. What are you gonna do? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your boobs hang? Whoa. Hi, Psycho. Do you want to play Gams today? Gumby. That was the most recent one. The blue hair and the height. People think I'm like a street performer or something. I don't fucking know. I'm used to it at this point. Hello, Tony. How are you, love? This is Starcadian. Fuck yeah. What is this? What is this? Dance Till You Die? No. Neon Head. This is Neon Head. This is off the newer album. It's pretty good if you haven't listened to it. A lot of it, I'd probably say like a third of it is OST music that he's put into soundtracks and stuff like that, but it's very entertaining. I really like it. What are you going to do when you're in a wedding dress? Oh, gee, I don't know. Maybe get a matching tattoo with the dress, right? Like, I don't have to accessorize as much. Oh God, I saw the funniest, I don't know if you even call it a meme anymore. I'm old, but it was a Instagram of just someone tweeted or something like that. And it said, I've put more thought into my tattoos than you put into conceiving your child, Susan. Stop telling me I'm going to regret things. And I cackled. It's probably true a lot of the time. Beautiful. Poetry. I got the results of the pulmonary function test. Fuck yeah. Everything's super normal. Hell yeah. No more high residuals. Fuck yeah. Do you have your predicted lung volumes? Because I don't. And I'm still pissed about it. I only get like 81% of my predicted lung volumes for my height and age. It's because I get a tiny torso. Fuck. I got no lungs. I let nurses do whatever they do because whatever they need to do, because I've seen or heard some real asswipes treat them horribly. I mean, for the most part, nurses are some of the most tolerant, wonderful, like patient humans in the entire world, and they deal with it so fucking constantly. But you are probably their favorite patient in the entire world. I mean, they'll come to the station and be like, "I just love that bitch. He doesn't need shit." Fuck, because we've had patients before that. I mean, you guys know I've been out of respiratory for what, 4 years now. I still maintain my license just in case. But there are patients that are burned into my skull, and it's not necessarily because it was a really drastic thing or a crazy surgery or blah blah blah. It's usually because of their fucking shitty personality and how they are so narcissistically needy 24/7 that they could be your only patient and you will not pee for 12 hours because you can't get the fuck out of their room.
Ouch, you I touch myself. Ooh.
Kills! Thank you so much for subbing to class. Keep it class alive. Giving it swings for 43 fucking months. I've given my chicken arms and now she's taking over my house. Just tell the children to run. Wait, can we make arms for the children? Oh, evil. No shit. The amount of times I've been told I'm gonna fucking kill you and your whole family by a heroin addict because I need to do an ABG on them, which is the blood. Seriously, I'll be just my very gentle, feeling for it, like, okay, you're gonna feel a little prick, but I'm really good at these. It's gonna flex like I am. You're not gonna feel very much. It's gonna be 1 second. Just like relax your arm, and they'll be right here over my shoulder. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking murder you. My boyfriend's gonna fucking bleep 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 you. I'm gonna fucking, and you're done while they're still, and your arm picks up, and you've like got indents from the track marks in your own. It's just, I don't know. Those are the people that come at me. The ones that are like Requiem of a Dreaming their arm, if you know what I mean. And I got no judgment for drug addiction. That is the most horrible thing I can ever fucking fathom. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, and I wish these people the absolute best. But don't try to fucking kill me after you came to the ER because you didn't feel good. I have to look at your blood. I can't help you without your blood. Oh, the buzzers. Yeah. Dude, your dogs, shut the fuck up. I have a problem. I have 366 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me. Out of 389 in my Pokedex, Pokedex, Katie? And I've only one gym badge. What is wrong with me? You're a homebody like the rest of us. Doesn't sound like anything's wrong with you. You just have your priorities right. Sweet old lady. Bitch, can we talk about that color on her? Bitch. I mean, she didn't look bad before, but once you see that copper on her, you see how much the blonde like washed her out and pulled her face down. You worked magic. She looks like a new, like the same person, but like it lifted all of her face. Maybe it's because she looks happy. I bet you just talked to her and made her feel like a human, because honestly, I think she's just smiling. I'm not gonna cry. You're gonna cry. It's fine. She looks beautiful. Dude, nurses party like none other, bringing saline to recover from the night. Banana bags. They're a problem. My wife gets death threats all the time, and she's just an aide. She probably gets them more often because she's with the patients more often, to be honest. Like longer. Like doing all the washing, sponge bathing, all that kind of shit. Yeah. It's just all the time. And it's like, I mean, it's sad that I remember the ones that stuck out because they just drove me absolutely manic. versus the really, really nice ones. Like, I don't remember those ones as much because they're so few and far between. Or they're fake nice because they're trying to get something out of you. Only time I was improper with the nurse was when I was 18 and stuck in the hospital for weeks, and she stopped the sponge bath just short of making me very happy. You were young and dumb and full of cum. You can't help it. It's fine. As long as you don't come all over. I gave a guy a boner on accident one time checking his femoral artery, and he fucking was so embarrassed. He couldn't look me in the eye ever again. I was like, dude, this happens all the time. Just like ignore it. Same count for people who handle your food. Smart to be nice to them, or there might be something on in your food. I worked in food service for years, and I never ever fucked with someone's food. But god damn it, did I want to. And I don't even want my food service people to want to fuck with my food. You know what I'm saying? I want them to think like, that was a nice person and they tipped appropriately and I'm going to make their food the way they ordered it. Thank you so much. I don't want that shit. I don't want bad feelings in my food. Seriously, Fox. Like, I get it. I had to close the picture because I was literally going to cry. She just like, she glows. You can tell she instantly felt so beautiful. She felt beautiful, and that's what made her face. I mean, seriously, I'm sure you saw it. Like, it was like fucking. It looked like she got surgery done, and it's just the fact that it's just her smiling is really making me want to cry. Hi, Bezabelli. How are you, love? David, I doubt very much you're a nuisance. A patient legitimately needing something, even if it's often, is never a nuisance. So any of you who are, you know, in and out of hospitals often because of illnesses or whatnot, if you have, let's say, an intestinal issue that makes you shit yourself constantly and you're constantly having to call the nurse and be like, I accidentally shit myself, you are not a nuisance. We do not want you sitting in your fecal matter. Not only does it make us feel horrific that a human being is sitting in their own fecal matter, but it can lead to sores and rashes and tissue breakdown and stuff like that. Like, in no way, shape, or form is that a nuisance. I think you know what I mean when I say nuisance. It's the person who, like, you go in there and you stack 7 pillows on one side of them because they were feeling, you know, cramped or whatever and rolling in bed. And 15 seconds later, they're hitting the call button because the pillow moved or something. Or it's the patient that insists on pulling their catheter out all the time and eventually pulls the head of their own penis off. It's the patient who won't stop trying to crawl out of bed. The patient who drinks their dilaudid bottle. Patients who try to touch their own ventilator, the patients who self-extubate. These are the ones where you're just like, you're not just annoying, you're trying to die on my watch and it's not going to happen. It's not time, bitch. Not today. Yeah. Those are the ones where it's just like, or like, I had a patient who had a feeding tube because very sadly and unfortunately they had a lifelong eating disorder and they wouldn't stop unscrewing their feeding tube and trying to put it into their IV. And they were so skinny and so tiny that we had to use child restraints and that still wouldn't keep them from doing stuff. That's the kind of stuff where I'm just like, stop it. I have 100 patients. You must stop. You must stop. You know what I'm saying? There are people who have legitimate problems and legitimate needs, though, and that is totally different. You are not a fucking nuisance. I want to know if something's going on physically or whatever with you. You know what I'm saying? I never fuck with someone's food, but I may have accidentally dropped a tray of 3 Jim Dandy sundaes on a prick who thought it was cool, funny to grab my ass, and I was 16. Deserved. That's disgusting. They deserved more. I'm like the nicest person ever to medical people. I had this nurse make me feel so damn stupid because I asked for her to help cleaning after my C-section. Literally looked at me while I'm sitting on the toilet and said, quote, "You know you can do this yourself, right?" You had the right to do that. Just FYI. As a medical professional myself, I am here to inform you I am your employee and I am not allowed to abuse you physically or verbally. What a cunt. I know, Eric, and I'm so sorry. Wow, me, that's, and I feel, is it, I don't know. I've never been an inpatient in a hospital. Even when the horse stepped on my face, like they did, I don't think I stayed. Actually, I don't know. I might have stayed a night. I don't remember. I was very young and very drugged. But I've only worked in ICUs ever. And usually as a nurse, respiratory therapist, or a doctor. I think that's about it. Usually you specialize and tend to stay in that area because the skills are different. The skills needed on the floors, for instance, are different than the skills needed in the ICU, that are different than needed in the fucking surgery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, needed in neuro. Like the skills needed across the board. You just need to know different things. For instance, with surgeries and stuff like that, I'm really paying attention to my patient's pain scale, how much pressures are actually expanding their chest, whether or not there's a wound on their chest. Whereas in neuro, they're worried about intracranial pressure and what respiratory is doing to that. So a respiratory therapist working in neuro has to know a lot more about intracranial pressure and cerebral spinal fluid levels and shit like that. And I know fuck all about that. So you tend to stay in one area. So I don't know. I've never worked with a ICU nurse who wasn't like the most empathetic, warm, tender person, other than a few travelers, which I've told you guys about. I've reported them. Like they weren't just not tender, like they were absolutely abusing patients. But ICU nurses in general who are like working at that hospital, they tend to be the kindest, softest human beings with like the warmest hugs you ever meet in your entire life. I don't know if that just comes with the territory of working in an ICU where people tend to be very fragile versus on the floors. But like where I'm going with this is if you are a baby mother nurse, wouldn't you arguably want to be like the softest, most empathetic, kind, warm human ever? Like a walking Afghan? Because, like, I have a personal problem with this. I've just witnessed this a lot in the hospital and with friends. But, like, what the fuck is with everybody's concerned about a pregnant mom until the baby's out, and then mom's fuck all. Everything's on the baby. And it's like, ignore mom. Like, postpartum doesn't matter. Fuck your episiotomy. Wipe your shit yourself. We're taking care of the baby. The baby's the only. Like, what the fuck is with disregarding moms? Completely. Like, they were just a cocoon to be tossed. Or like a pupa or something. Have you guys noticed that bullshit? I used to watch that literally in births. Like everybody's all over mom, like wiping sweat off her brow until the baby's out. And then they just desert mom. And she's like laying there, legs spread, placenta half out her pussy, like blood everywhere. She's totally conscious, like looking around, like laying in her own shit. No one gives a fuck about the sweat anymore. It's fucking weird. I don't. Like, I feel like we went from, like, the 50s and 60s where we gave women, like, a makeup booklet to put themselves back together for their husband to, like, fuck that bitch. The cocoon's out. Let's throw it. In hospitals. Not with midwives. I feel like everyone I've ever known that's worked with midwifery has had a much better experience. Calm your tits, mom. Hustle the babies out now! Literally, that's kind of what it looks like and feels like. Well, that's the other thing. Like, financially, a baby doesn't matter once it's out. Yeah. Babies make such delicious roasts. I mean, I've had my fair share. Maybe I'm just becoming inundated. I need to, like, go off for a while. The George Carlin stand-up comes up to... Oh, I love George... Yeah. Yeah. Which one, though? He mentions that in a couple. The super rich want more babies so they can have cheap labor available. They don't care how well their labor pool lives, though, which is so weird. Personally, I'm a fan of delayed cord clamping and immediate skin to skin. In terms of mothers and their babies after pregnancy, honestly, I think that's the best as well. The only time I've ever rushed to clamp a cord is if there was questionable conditions at birth, because it's kind of cool. If you didn't know this, some of you probably know this, so please ignore me, but So the ABG I was talking about earlier, arterial blood gas, what RTs are most known for doing, i.e. taking blood from your artery, not your veins. We're looking at the artery. We look at a whole different slew of information. It's very, very valuable. If you clamp a chunk in the middle of the cord and cut it out and take it and do an arterial blood gas and a venous, because it's got an artery and a vein going up, it's like a noodle. It's noodle candy cane. It's so gross. If you do a gas off of that, you get the oxygen, the PCO2, PO2, bicarb, all that information of the exact moment of birth. So literally the fucking like nanosecond you lift baby out of mom or get baby out of mom, that umbilical cord holds that exact information until you cut it. And it's fascinating. So if baby, like, for instance, came out a wrong way or their head was squished by the pelvis or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, we do an ABG on that to make sure everything's okay, because it will just tell us what was going on between mom and baby. Like, was it something internal? Was it something external that happened? What's going on? But that's the only time. There's no necessity in clipping that cord right away, skin to skin, honestly. It's kind of weird baby magic. Babies are kind of hot magic, to be honest. Cool. Weave, thank you for 37 months. I fucking appreciate you. Go forth and be an anus that is consensual because nothing is sexier. Thank you. It's a meaty core sample. It is a fucking slimy meaty core. I used to have a video of me doing an ABG on one that I took with my phone. I don't know where the fuck it is. I'll find it one day. Gump, it's a very, I mean, my experience is only working in like massive hospitals, but it's become very robotic. Childbirth. It's very much like if the parents or the mother specifically doesn't absolutely strongly request skin to skin beforehand, you know, and like make it very clear to the entire room, we go into autopilot and don't even think about it. And it's sad. We're just taught that way to not really regard mom or fucking ask. You know what I'm saying? It's very bizarre. I was the baby catcher, which is honestly a nurse job, but they had a respiratory therapist do it because we can kind of catch the baby as well as do a respiratory thing if their airways aren't clean or something like that. And so if there was a C-section, essentially there'd be two surgeons who would do a cut this big, and then they stick their fingers in there and they rock the body and just slowly tear you open until you're big enough to get that fucking egg out. Or the baby if it popped, if your water popped. But if your water didn't pop, it's an egg. Then they pull the baby out, and then they pull the placenta out. And I stand there in a hazmat suit with a sterile warmed blanket over my face and arms like this, and they lower baby into my arms, and I go away. And then the surgeons do mom. They sew up mom, make sure mom's okay because it was a C-section and all that, and I go take care of baby, and that's my entire fucking focus. And usually 100, like honestly, 99.9% of the time, if I fucking could, I found dad in that room and made him clip that cord with me. We're supposed to ask if you want to clip the cord, but like, you just saw what your wife went through. Get over here, you little bitch. Come. Let's clip together. But yeah, I go over to a little warmer and like rub up the baby and make sure it's crying and clear its airway and everything. And then once they say it's okay, I bring baby over to mom or give it to dad or something like that. I totally am. It's called a catcher. It's different. What is skin to skin? Oh no, knives. It's not ignorant at all. You don't have a baby. Why the fuck would you know? Skin to skin is basically, instead of that situation I just explained, where the first 7 people to touch your baby's flesh are complete strangers that look like robots, the way I picture it is I imagine it's the way that they portray getting your ass probed by aliens. Like, you just wake up and your eyes are looking up and it's really bright lights and you see all these weird orbs looking at you from the top like, yes, and poking you in all your holes and just putting straps on your legs and fucking smacking you and rubbing you like crazy. Like, that's what I imagine newborns are experiencing, the way that I was taught to pull them out of you and go take care of them. Versus skin to skin is we take baby out and we lay the baby on mom's chest immediately. I have gloves on. First human being is mom. I was a skin to skin baby, actually. My mom did that with me. But I was also really blue when I was born. I was really cold for some reason. So they did skin to skin. But yeah, so you're familiar with it exactly. There might be other terms for it. Skin to skin is what I was taught because I was a skin to skin baby.
Fucking what the fucking fuck? Who the fuck? Fuck this fucking. How did you two fucking fucks? Fuck!
Well, it certainly illustrates the diversity of the word.
Thank you for the biddies, Sally. Don't they charge people for that still? I don't think skin to skin is an extra charge. Especially if you're getting a C-section, I mean, it's not like I don't think so. I haven't seen it. I never put a charge for that in. I don't think so. Because it's nothing like we're doing extra. It's just instead of me being the first person your baby touches, you are. Honestly, I can do all that shit I was just talking about while you're skin to skin. That's all that it changes. Instead of putting a baby in a warmer, the big old hooded things where I would like scrub your baby and get all that white sticky shit off and whatever. Instead of doing it there, I just do it on your body because you are, that's all the warmer is imitating his mom. It's just like science is replacing humans kind of. But I have everything at the bed as well to do everything I'm doing at the warmer. So I can do it either way. It's like a baby oven. Yeah, it's not a closed one. It's just like it's got a heating lamp on top, and you preheat the whole thing before you start the C-section, and then it's supposed to simulate skin to skin, which is kind of crazy because you can do it. Obviously, we wouldn't agree to skin if something was wrong with the baby, like if the baby wasn't breathing, the umbilical cord was wrapped around, anything like that. Like I'm gonna take that baby and go fix it, and then I'm gonna bring the baby over as soon as possible. But if the baby comes out crying, like squish that wet little shit on your chest and enjoy. It's yours now. I don't have any rights over it, really. I mean, honestly, it's the mom's choice. I didn't want to cut the cord with the birth of my kids. I ended up doing so, mostly because I'm squeamish as fuck. I was kind of it was kind of traumatic. That said, nowhere near as traumatic as what the ex went through. That's kind of like the way a few of the dads put it is like, you gave me a story. Like my wife went through some bullshit, but I can tell my bros about how like the umbilical cord squirted me in the face. Or something like that. Like, they're never mad at me about it, but I'm like, come interact with this entire thing, because all you did was come in that bitch. I was born blue, no shit, and was whisked away from the room ASAP in an incubator and shit. That's basically what I did, Donna. My parents weren't allowed to hold me right away after my mom fell asleep. My dad snuck off to hold me. That's pretty precious, though. That's pretty darn precious. The Mew you get is psychic and grass Terra type. Is that a good type? Plus the lack of follow-up. Mom doesn't just check baby is okay and catch baby. The lack of follow-up is nauseating. There is none. I mean, really. Mom files health and safety reports, make sure the family household's okay. Oh my God, imagine. Talks to social services, does all the measuring and weighing, figures out the visits and advocates with them and sits with them during big scary decisions about their baby and themselves. She's been the comfort for several people I know from childhood because she was their midwife during a traumatic birth baby loss. That's such a fucking alternate world. I can't even imagine. I mean, the amount of moms I've had where they didn't even get the doctor that they did their entire birth plan with because he was like, oh, I'll totally be in town, and then they take a vacation. Or they just don't answer their phone. It's more often than not, I guess. Skin to skin, I think it is. There's something about like your baby is still kind of technically part of you at that time. As long as the umbilical cord's connected, you're still connected to that baby. As long as you're still connected and putting that skin to skin and like the heartbeat syncing up and stuff, I think there's something important to it. I'm not saying I've ever seen a disadvantage to me being the person that does that if mom doesn't want skin to skin, because some moms straight up are very, very squeamish about blood and guts and stuff, and they're like, can you just please like wipe it off real quick and then give me the baby as soon as possible? I'm like, yes. I can do it on you. Like, I can lay a blanket on mom and put the baby on the blanket and sit there and do the scrubbies and then, flop baby over, boom, skin to skin. I can do it any way the mom personally wants it, as long as baby is not, like, questionable health-wise when they come out. And I always try. Like, I try to sit with the moms if we can. But what's really unfortunate is because, you never know when a baby's going to come. Thank you for the hype train, by the way. You never know when his baby's going to come. So chances of getting, like, nurses and respiratory therapists that you're familiar with, like, most of the time, unfortunately, babies come at nighttime. And every single appointment you've ever had is during daytime hours in a clinic. So not one staff member that you've ever seen before is ever going to be there when you're actually giving birth. It's going to be night shift people. And that can freak a lot of moms out because they don't recognize literally anybody at all. And that sucks. Because then, I mean, if you came in, it's not like I had literally any time to sit with you at all. Like, I come in and they're sitting there with the hot knife, like, you ready? Bacon and burnt hair. Boom, we're there. Like, it's pretty, instantaneous. All the blue into my hair and oh God. What does that mean? But is that bad? No, I love what your mom does. I wish it was more prevalent. Does the living room ever turn into a requiem for a dream where the baby pops out and you get to ask, so what will it be? Skin to skin, skin to skin? Not vaginal delivery rooms, but I have had family cheer C-sections on like it's a sports game. Or like the way that our C-section operating room was, it was huge operating room, and the bed and everything was pretty much crunched into one side, and then the other side was this big wall with a window that had like I don't know what the word for it is. Basically, you could black out the window, like tint the window with a button, as opposed to having shades that pulled up and down, and that window faced into the nursery waiting area. So like all the family could stand right outside that window, and the moment the baby was out, mom did skin to skin or whatever the fuck they want to do. Me and dad, I escort dad usually over to the window, and then we push the button and the tint goes away, and the whole family, with like fingers with number ones on it and shit like that, but not in the C-section room because it's a surgery room. So like you'd have to be sterile, scrubbed up like the rest of us kind of shit, So usually only dad or like one person in there other than mom. I don't know about do better because I don't like take care of the babies long term. I'm only there for the births, but I will say that skin to skin babies, they tend to be more, how do I put this, like autonomous in clearing their own airway and becoming kind of calm a lot faster. Almost every baby comes out screaming usually. That's a good sign. We want a big screaming baby. If they're not screaming, I got to do that bulb thing and like suck their throat out and maybe intubate them or something like that. So usually they come out like, freezing, screaming, covered in white sticky shit. You wipe them down. There's this human like scrubbing the fuck out of them. No one's ever touched them before. And then suddenly when they lay on like that warmth of the body, they literally just squirt it out of and the heartbeats sync up. I don't know. There's something. I don't know what it is. Magic. It's kind of hot magic. But they'll like cough up stuff on their own because I think they feel in less distress. So when you're in distress, you're not really thinking about clearing your airway. You're thinking about escaping this big, cold, scary, bright, hot, weird environment and the big alien that's like, on you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know really physiologically what's going on, but they tend to calm the fuck down and then they just chill and they clear their airways and they start to kind of open their little sticky eyes and they, like, there's nothing more beautiful than the first person a baby's seeing is its mom. I honestly have straight up pulled that little beanie over their eyes if I think their eyes are going to open on me because I'm like, not today, bitch. Mommy time. I couldn't take it. That's not fair to a mom. That's your baby. You get to look in those eyes. Really? Oh, David, absolutely. Or Marty, was it Mardi Gras themed? I don't know if it was Mardi Gras themed. It was like Mardi Gras colors, but they had like big old posters and signs that were like, Tammy did it. I don't know what her name was. I don't remember her name, but it was like, oh yeah, they'll get wild. It's pretty, I mean, there's some people who give birth alone. I'd rather the cheers, and I don't even know. That's gotta be sad. In the NICU, no, I know what you meant. I can't imagine anyone wanting an audience. No. Especially for the birth part. Oh, absolutely not. Oh, God. That's why we have the window. It doesn't face, like, the corner where this, it's, like, separated by curtains and shit like that. But I don't know what, I don't even know if I'd let my partner watch my birth if I had to do that. What the fuck is this scary-ass song? Are we living in a hellscape right now? Oh, it was OST music. That's what happened. Can you just calm the fuck down? Calm the fuck down. No one's having a great time about you right now. Ooh, look. Busta Rhymes is much better. Oh, maybe she got pregnant in Mardi Gras. I didn't even think about it. I thought maybe they were just from there. Nope, that's probably clever. I bet that's what it was. My husband couldn't fit in the scrub pieces they had for him. He was busting at the seams. Dude, we have huge scrubs. They were being mean. like XXXXL, because we have like vending machines that literally like you can just and get scrubs out of. I've seen sizes huge. That's not very nice. Honestly, scrubs don't fit anyone who isn't just skin and bones. Anyone that has any musculature or fat on their body, because scrubs don't stretch, they have no stretchy in them. So the amount of ass cracks I've seen hanging out, like big fucking hairy ass cracks while we're coding a patient, you just get used to it. Because that's just the way scrubs are. Like, unless you're tying them around your waist right here, like fucking nipple pants. No, they don't fit anybody. They just fall off you all fucking day. The most difficult thing at the moment is the ethics of midwifery. I know it's obviously very different in parts of the US and many other countries, but over here, babies don't have rights until they're born. So if a parent doesn't consent to being induced, if they're past full term, which is safe, the baby will suffer as consequence. Midwives have to make a very difficult choice between the parents' bodily autonomy and a viable baby. I cannot. Nope. Yep. That's got to be a horrible place. Emotionally, everything. Then you also have to go to court and testify with that kind of stuff. Oh, I imagine baby nurses go to court a lot. People get up in arms about their babies, rightfully so. I was actually born in the morning, 9:30 on the dot, almost. My mom is a fucking beast, though. No pain, no reaction. What the fuck? No meds? So she's an alien. It took me 2 hours to get out of after the convulsions. I was born at the time where people would take pictures and put it in the newsletters. Yep, so my mom was a cutout newsletter square of a picture of her and me. Calm woman, likewise son. That's hilarious. My mom was in labor with me for 3 days. I would have asked someone to push it out or something. Kill it. 3 days. Abso-fuck-no. Hydromonic high slurm. How are you, love? 3. I mean, my mom's like 5'5", and I was an 8-pound. I was 8 pounds something ounces. I don't know. I was big. I think I wasn't a small baby, but I wasn't like, there are babies that come out exactly like 10 pounds. I know a girl who came out 12 pounds BDO, and her mom was like 5 feet tall. Still have no idea how that even happened. Have you apologized? I mean, she never really made a big, yeah, kind of, but kind of not, because here's the thing. I was due on February 29th, the leap day, and she was so excited because she's neurotic and wants to have a baby forever. So she was like, you'll be a baby forever. You'll only have a birthday every 4 years, which is crazy to say because we all know that's not real, but like, you only have a birthday every 4 years. Went into labor on the leap day, but I didn't come out till March 3rd. She was pissed. But like, I'm kind of glad it turned out that way because like, what the fuck? What a weird reason. Weird. But this was also in the 80s when it was like a moment in medicine where they were like, C-sections are more dangerous than anything. Let women stay pregnant forever. So, here we are. I'm cleaning today. Wait, I was due May 6th like a true Taurus. I took my damn time to cook. I don't know why I stayed in. Probably because I knew the world would suck. I don't know. My own mother was stuck in her room because I happened to pop out between shift change. Shut the fuck up. But at that point, she was trying to get out of the van to get the fucking camera. That's amazing. Oh, women are superheroes. Mothers are. Cleaning today. Moving the boyfriend out of his apartment into my house, so cleaning and packing. Oh, God, be safe. Seriously, I always hurt myself when I move. I don't know. I start to get lazy. When my mom went into the hospital to deliver me, the car parked for 49 minutes? Dude, you just fell out. Your mom like sneezed. My dad is born on February 29th and he's a twin. That's freaky magic shit. Yep. I'm glad I wasn't. I'd have to like pick a birthday every year and I'm so indecisive. I like my birthday. It's nice and easy to remember and ignore. They spent like 5 to 6 days trying to juice my bestie. Then an emergency C-section when one stats plummeted. Yep. And then the other skyrocketed. It was crazy time. Were they okay though? I'm assuming. I'm hoping. I watched my cat have kittens silently, and all I could think about was my screams down the corridor while this bitch is pushing out multiple kittens silently. Could you imagine? I cry from cramps sometimes, man. No. Yeah, that's what I thought. Leap years are literally just to line up seasons. Otherwise, they would have moved so much that, yeah, we'd be like Australia every 100 years or something. Oh, yes. I mean, we've covered that, Knives. Damaged. 2 weeks. Jesus. I was a week late, but my mom only had sons during a full moon, so I had to wait. I was born on a full moon too. Were you really born on a full moon, David? Twinning. I was born on a blue moon. My mom said she could hear crazy people in the psych ward running around, but I don't know how legit that is. That was back in the 80s, so it might not have actually been late, just miscalculated conception. I mean, they didn't induce back then. Seriously, that's what my mom said. Like, they didn't induce and they didn't do C-sections until they thought either baby or mother was in danger back then because they thought C-sections were more dangerous. Nowadays, they're more willing to let you plan a C-section to get your baby out at your due date, regardless of whether you go into labor or not. My mother didn't know what time I was born, only that it was lunchtime because when it was all over, she had missed lunch. Shut up. She was in maybe we can find you a sandwich territory. You know what? Sometimes it's the little things. I kind of get that. She was probably feeling a little empty. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, Dramatic, you were itty bitty. 4 pounds, 5 ounces when I was born. 2 days late also. Now my son put me through a month and a half of early labor. Have you reminded him? And 29 hours of active labor. 3.5 hours of pushing. If your son's ever being a little jerk, call him a shithead. And if he asks why, say, you were such a little fuck when you were born that you had to come out my asshole. And now I have a daddy stitch, shithead. Holy crap. This is why I couldn't have children, because I would just, oh my God. What? He was born on... Here's the Christmas present. What a wonderful holiday for you, though, right? Yeah, actually, Psycho, I was going to say, I got to pee real bad. I mean, Knives, I honestly want to see that interaction as well. For science. I was supposed to be born on my grandfather's birthday. My sister was born on my grandma's birthday, excuse me. Dad would have had a son on his dad's birthday and a daughter on his mom's had I not been late. It's because we're big. I think we're just too big to come out. I think we stick. Like an annoying Post-it. They were okay, except the baby was in the NICU for about a month. He had a bowel movement in the womb. Oh, that's a lot more common than I thought it was before I went into the medical industry. They call you a Mac baby. Mac babies, because you basically inhale your meconium, which is the baby poop. Oh, but he's okay now. He's 3, gets reminded every day. I'd be like, I can put you right back up there. Trust me, the hole's big enough now. Sit on your head and just... Shh. Mommy needs quiet time. Any messiahs? Dude, I wish I would have thought of that. I worked every Christmas too. Steele, thank you so much for sending the class. Keeping the class alive and giving it something so fucking long. I appreciate you. Don't forget your Prime subs, lovers. Every time you forget a Prime sub, a fairy dies. And that's just rude. Gay men make great parents. I was a C-section, born in 85, and it was planned about a week past. Week past? Like they planned to do it beforehand? Damn. When my son was due, my wife was in the hospital for 3 to 4 days due to disability, CP. The region we were in, southern Portugal, was so poor, trained and supplied. They even said she was the first wheelchair mom they'd had in years. Oh, God. I ended up camping in her room floor on a rolled-up mattress due to how incapable the nurses were at taking care of her needs. I am so thankful she had you. Oh, my God. It was an exhausting several days, even after he was born. Funny, my wife's birthday is 2 days earlier than our son's, and my birthday is 2 days after.
The most wonderful person in the world, ClassyKatie.
I'm just glad you were there for them, because Jesus fuck, that's scary. Thank you, Skew, for resumming the class. Give me class 11. Given an anus swings, go forth and be consensual in all the ways, because nothing is sexier than pure, sober consent. Keep your hand over your drinks, ladies. I'd be amazed if I was a shit. Wait, if I shit in the womb, I'm never. I mean, you would have been covered in black sticky stuff. They'd know. Why is Numer baby poop the scariest thing? It literally looks like demon tar because it is. Oh my God, David. No shit. So, no pun intended with the no shit, but no shit. So, there's like, even if you stopped consuming solid food completely, you would still poop. I know, crazy. Because, like, only approximately, give or take, about 30% of your fecal matter is comprised of actually what we're consuming every day. The rest of it is dead blood cells, skin cells, the lining of our intestines sloughing off because it's getting fucking mangled constantly by just the digestion process. It's the lining of your stomach sloughing off, it's stomach acid, it's bile. It's a whole fucking convoluted mess of everything. And what happens is if you stop eating, i.e., consuming fiber and things that help push this stuff through, it tends to build up, and then eventually you just kind of poop out this long, black, slimy eel. As a grown human, you can do this. It's really gross and really I don't advise it. And that is the accumulated dead blood cells and dead lining of the intestinal, blah, 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 that's accumulated to the point where now the peristalsis actually has something to work on and move it out of your body. But essentially, that's what's been happening to the baby in the womb. However, they are consuming no solids, but what little, nutrients that go through their body that aren't being used, and their body's starting to actually turn over cells in the fucking womb. What can happen is that can build up to a point in a little baby body where it can squirt out their little bum. But unfortunately, they're literally breathing that amniotic fluid. So when that black slimy stuff comes out and they start breathing it, that's a problem. We need to get that baby out and suck out their lungs. Does that make sense? Thank you, Storm. Pretty wild, huh? I had a patient one time that unfortunately, very sadly, had an eating disorder. And when when I asked them why they kept unplugging their feeding tube, they went to the toilet and used a pen to pull up the slimy black worm and said, "This came out of me, which means obviously you're putting too much in me," and flicked it back in the toilet. And I was just like, no. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Game time. We'll eventually get through it. Welcome back, everybody. Let me turn that shit down. This music, dude, this is from the Euphoria soundtrack. I don't know if you guys heard, but Fezco passed away the other day, and it's super sad. The actor Fezco passed away, and I'm a little heartbroken about it. He was a very good actor, and he played that role really well, and I think it was maybe drugs and just so young. I think he was like 25 or something. Very sad. So now that music makes me a little sad. What are we playing? Five Nights at Fucky's. Something. No, we're not. Playing the same thing everyone else is playing because it's fucking great. I know. Really young. Really, really young. I think it was drug related, which is just sad. It's always sad. Drugs, addiction, it's all just the most tragic fucking shit in the whole world. I hate it. It breaks my heart how prevalent it is and how we criminalize. Spiritual happy 420 with you. I am officially a little baked. I'm going to go walk my dogs now. What do you have for dinner? Oh my gosh. Stir fry. Stir fry. I love stir fry. With white rice. Or with some rice, I should say. With just some rice. Stir fry with some rice and maybe like a nice little fried egg on top. Fucking A. That'd be delish. Moo. I've got one right here. And the other one's asleep on my foot. They had a very exciting last couple of days. They got to go out and do a lot, so they're very tired. The body shop never seems to have the replacement parts I need. I know, every time I go there, they're like, we sell lotion. And I'm like, Yeah, but my knees. All the Poods had a weekend. All the Poods had quite the weekend. It was eventful as fuck. But in a good way. Not in a, at least not, I hope not. I hope not eventful in a bad way. Always eventful in a good way. Otherwise, just fucking not eventful in any way, shape, or form, right? Because fuck that shit. Let's see. Who is playing a game? Ooh, I think Smoke Oak literally just went live playing the game, and I haven't got to watch him in a few days. So I'm gonna read him. Smoke! 369 viewers, shut the fuck up. It's very nice. I'll see you motherfuckers tomorrow morning, bright, early, shiny. It's Wednesday. I don't know. It's hump day. What are you gonna do? Reminder, in like 9 days or whatever, I leave for Burning Man for about 7 or 8 days, but I'll keep reminding you up until that point. In any case, be good, take your fucking joy, and clean your bong.